to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the BBC? What's all this then?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the United Kingdom with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. In the last episode of What's All This Then Finest, Libby and I combined our creative culinary minds to imagine what would a British Thanksgiving meal look like. Libby also shared an update on her quest to find the best fish and chips in Los Angeles, and I did a full-on PowerPoint presentation. It's a good app if you want to hear it, as well as support the show, then you'll have to head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/what's all this then. But today on the show, our guest today is used to talking about the mob, which is appropriate because today's topic is the absolute gangster, Alan Partridge.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yay.
I actually don't know that much about the mob. I've barely even seen any episodes of The Sopranos. But I was thinking recently about the intro to that show where Tony is driving in his car, and I was wondering, is that guy listening to a podcast on his little commute? Now, wouldn't that be funny? And what if Tony Soprano was in fact listening to an episode of this very show on his commute? Now, what would that sound like?
Yep.
Woke up this Monday, gotta listen to a pod. There's a new episode from those crazy British broads.
Ooh.
We're talking the UK. What is all this then? Topics Alan Partridge with guest Dan O'Sullivan.
Dan O'Sullivan, yeah.
Woke up this Monday, I press play on my phone. They can't agree on if it's called a scone or scone.
Ooh, wow.
The British thought baby seems a little phoned in this week. Shame about it. I'm Tony Soprano and I'm a what's all this then freak. Sing it now. Woke up this Monday, gotta listen to my pod. I'm a member of the mob, but I still love a good pod. I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host. It's Libby Watson. Hey, Libby, I call it a scone. How about you?
Yeah, I call it a scone.
Oh, okay. Well,
We're from basically the same bit of the UK, so it's very likely that we'd call it the same thing. I have a quick question for you, Charlotte. Do you think that Tony is singing the theme song at the start of The Sopranos?
Of course. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I actually found out the band who do that song is British as well.
British.
So
No
that's
way!
fun.
Wow, well done. Well done us. We
Well
did
done.
it. We did something.
We did do that. I really thought I was going to write a parody song about Alan Partridge for this episode, but then I just sort of made that instead, and I was like, you know what? I think that's pretty
Much
funny.
better.
So I guess that's just what we're going to do.
Yeah, no.
We just went with it. Anyway.
You did the right thing. We'll do an episode about The Sopranos one day when we have run out of British stuff to talk about and we become a podcast about America.
Well, we can say it's British now because the theme song's British and we can make it work. Anything can be British if we just set our minds to it.
The Sopranos, and it's about baps.
That's a roll, right?
That's a roll, yes. That's a bread roll. A floury
right.
Am
bap.
I supposed to speak? Should I not speak? Or
Well, you're speaking
Dan,
now.
the fact that you're even asking the question shows us that you are a good guest. Because some guests will just start nattering and don't even think about it.
no. In fact, I like barreling over. Like YKS, I'll just start. I don't care what they say.
No,
I
you
just
shouldn't
like
respect
barreling
those
over
men.
them.
So,
But this is a very polite. I'm Dan, by the way.
Hi, hi Dan.
I can do your introduction if you'd like.
Yeah, let's have Dan's introduction, shall we?
Well, he's a
From the
writer
top.
and now he's a podcaster and one of the hosts of the show The Outfit, which is of course all about the mob, which did make me think maybe today's episode should have been about British gangsters or something. But here we are. Welcome to the show, Dan O'Sullivan. How you doing?
Oh, aha!
Oh, here's the reason that it's not about the British gangsters. Number one, don't know anything about that. Number two, I have had Dan
into the Cockney a little. Ooh, you know.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just doing I'm doing
right.
Bob Hoskins in the Long Good Friday, basically, and that's all I know about British gangsters.
For 10 years, it's been peace.
It's so fucking good. the reason we're doing Alan Partridge is that I have had a mental note that Dan would do Alan Partridge since before I even knew about the outfit. So
Wow. Thank you.
This precedes this pairing precedes the outfit. And maybe we'll just have to do another episode with Dan later about Bob Hoskins and
we'll see how
Friday.
this one goes first, right? I mean, he did already talk over us before he was supposed to, but we'll
No,
see.
he didn't. No, it's good. It's fine to do that. People should talk over us. We're just bugs.
That scabrous British wit coming out here. The one-upsmanship. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Quite. Indeed.
Yes.
I was watching, it's a British gangster film, right? Snatch. I'd never seen that. I started watching that one recently. I got kind of bored. Is that okay? Do you guys like that movie?
Ooh, never seen it.
I like that one, but I also am aware that the Guy Ritchie gangster films, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this, they sort of ushered in, listen, this is something we'll get into with Alan, I'm sure, but that I think the UK is very interesting in that what your accent is much more determines your identity and who you are in Britain than it does in the US.
Yes.
I can actually say something nice about the US, right? And so in the UK, everyone started copying the accents in movies like Snatch, and like they saw dropping, like they start like to be less middle class or something like that. And that's just a very funny thing that I don't think we have a pure equivalent to in America, Yeah,
it's true. I mean, definitely there isn't that same sort of like process in play where, I mean, obviously you had the newsreader voice in the US. We had BBC newsreader voice. But I think it does reflect like changing class attitudes. I think the thing of middle class being an insult in Britain is probably a lot newer than I would have thought, because I was born in 1990, if anyone is looking to try and steal my identity. And
what is your mother's maiden name?
Mm-hmm.
I won't be saying that one.
I actually had my security question for a while was my favorite movie for whatever reason. And then I had someone at school hack
The
my
Dark
account.
Knight.
Would you want to guess
The
it?
Dark
It was
Knight Rises.
But you were hacked?
It was The Matrix. And then I had one of my supposed friends at school send me a message being like, "Oh, I'm doing a survey for class. What's your favorite movie?" And I was like, "It's The Matrix." And then immediately I got locked out of my email. So that was fun.
But that's how you learn. The next time you get a survey, you throw them off. You say, "Babe, pig in the city," and then you're good,
Yes, which is number two.
No one's getting that.
If you check my
Which is number
letterboxd,
two,
it's the
coincidentally.
next one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really bad security question because it's something that can change. It has to be something that can't change, because my favorite movie has changed throughout my life. And hell, I don't even know if I would have an answer for favorite movie. I got a top 3, but they all swip around.
Can I give you I remember one of them was, what's the first concert you ever went to? And I put Morrissey. That was the answer.
Yeah.
I have to change that now, not because that isn't still the first concert I went to, but because I can't bring him up,
It's too embarrassing.
It's too embarrassing. He, that's another episode, of this show. But
Oh, good Lord.
You can't let Wells Fargo know that you went to an embarrassing concert when you were 17.
Well, it was like, it wasn't embarrassing at the time. I was a depressed Irish American, like it's like a spawning ground for them. And it's gifted me powers working with Angelino public school students, like they have a Smiths shirt on. It's like, oh yeah. And they're like, how do you know about the Smiths? And it's like, who do you think it was designed for first, And then it made the leap
They
to
know
Southern
about the Smiths?
Oh, did you not know that the Mexican American community is the biggest Morrissey base left?
I had no idea. That is awesome.
I didn't know this.
Enormous.
No.
It's huge. So, like, the fact that Mr. Dan at the school knows the Smiths and Morrissey, it's like perverse to them. It's like, how the fuck do you know that? It's like,
That's amazing. The
Come on.
cross-cultural exchange between Manchester and Mexican Americans in Los Angeles.
Again, want to update them maybe on some of his views on immigration. Like, just get that out there. You know, maybe it's time to put that away. But nevertheless, you know, Smiths was four guys. Sorry.
So Dan, you're a huge Morrissey fan. We've established that much already. What are some other things about...
Just of his politics.
Yes.
Just of his more recent work. Yeah.
Right.
We always like to talk to our guests about the UK generally and their relationship to it as we begin. Do you like the UK, Dan? You a fan of what you know, our output, as it were?
So it's interesting, right? I you know my last name. How do I put this? All right, so
You guys are evil and you disgust me.
No. Listen, I, as you well know,
Yes.
I actually think relations between the Irish and the British are warmer than people think and know.
I so agree.
And this is that there is, you know, the last time I was in Ireland, there were a lot of British tourists visiting. And then, you know, the flip side is, you know, in the UK, like half of the people you meet have some Irish descent in their background. So there are much warmer ties than I think people would be aware of. There you go, Charlotte. Right.
I'm a McDonald. So here we are.
Right. There you go. So, and, you know, so the other thing is I've always, I think, read a lot of British writers and watched, I mean, we're going to talk about Alan Partridge, but because I was really cool, I was like watching Alan Partridge in high school, you know? So I've always, you know, really enjoyed, you know, like British comedy and stuff. So I've always enjoyed that. Now, I did go to Northern Ireland for the first time a few years ago. And that was eye-opening too, where it was like, it felt to me more like Britain in some ways than Ireland. It was like this weird middle ground between, it wasn't quite Ireland, it wasn't quite Britain.
Yeah.
It's kind of its own thing. So that was sort of interesting too, where it probably, I've heard people say it's more like Scotland than anything. So that's kind of interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
One of the things I am most interested in about Britain is accents. What you were saying earlier, and I think it's really interesting how the sort of Western Scottish accent is sometimes not indistinguishable, but very similar to the Northern Irish accent. I think that's really, really cool because it makes sense because they're near each other and they would have been sailing back and forth. I agree with you, and not just because I have an Irish friend, so well done me. But you know, we do obviously. We have a lot in common. We're right next to each other, and let me tell you what we have in common is one of my favorite things. Loving The Simpsons. Irish people fucking love The Simpsons. British people fucking love The Simpsons. We're all about The Simpsons. And that is really, really nice in a way for me to have bonded with my friend Colin. But I do agree with you. I've never been to Northern Ireland, so I can't speak for its vibes. But
it is a huge, I feel very deeply embarrassed by the fact that I have still not been to Northern or Ireland, just at all, given the fact that my granddad was from there and that it was so close. I could have gone there at any time. So it's very much on the list. But there's a lot of time just hanging out in London.
There's a great joke. Well, sure. I mean, and that's a great city, but there's a great joke in the Alan Partridge podcast where it's like a listener, it's like a mailbag. And he's like, so-and-so writes, have you ever been to Northern Ireland? And he goes, no. And he says very pointedly, I have never been to Northern Ireland. And that's the end of the answer. Like he would never go there ever, you know? And it's still terrifying. And like what the 70, like whatever it was in the 70s is what it is to someone like Alan Partridge. But you go there and it's just, Belfast is beautiful, you know? So
yeah.
I did go on Easter Sunday, which I did not time that out. So I'm in an IRA cemetery on Easter Sunday, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I really timed this poorly or well, but I did see a police action later that was scary. So, yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you about being Irish and going to Ireland as an American.
Yeah.
Do they like it, or do they find it really annoying? Because I have long, talked with my friend Colin about how funny it is when Irish Americans who have not, their Irish great-great-grandfathers came over and have basically no current connection to Ireland say, oh, I'm an O'Doherty too. We're probably related.
They hate that shit. So listen, I'm gonna like distance myself a little bit from that, where it's like I feel like I'm a dual citizen, which doesn't mean anything to them, but I am. My grandparents were immigrants from there, right? And then 3 of my 4 great grandparents on the other side were immigrants from there. Yeah. So I feel like when I meet someone from the South who says I'm Irish, I just want to say, shut the fuck up. No, you're
like
not.
Jesse Farrar.
Well, this is a perfect. I mean, I wasn't going to name him, but but first off, he's going to be Scots-Irish, which is different, and he's too stupid to know that. Yeah. And then the other thing is they've been here since like the 1700s or 1800s. Just you're an American, just shut up. But but so if you go over there, but I know better because my father spent so much time there. I know better than to say any of that stuff because they will find that. So I was at lunch with my Irish relatives. And the oldest guy there, Francie, answered his cell phone, and he said he was asked like by his daughter like what he was doing. He said, "Oh, entertaining Yanks." Like that's I love that. So they have a like I'm a Yank no matter what to them. Yeah. And but if you sort of embrace that, then they start. The advice I got was then they'll start to claim you if you're not a dick, if you're not showing them up. And so, but I will never forget going to this beautiful site in Cork, Mizenhead, saw whales breaching. And it was this absolutely beautiful Wild Atlantic Way thing. And we walked back to the parking lot and there was a guy in a Let's Go Brandon shirt walking in. And I was like, well,
mate. Oh,
he wore it overseas, but this is a choice, So I got a little reminder of my country there.
And that's like extra embarrassing because like Biden's whole thing is talking about being Irish. He's Irish.
Right.
Did the Irish claim Biden in reverse? Because I feel like probably
surely
not so much, right?
I'll tell you who they did claim was Obama.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I have been to the Barack Obama Plaza in Moneygall, Ireland.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I've eaten a Subway sandwich there, so that's my claim to fame.
Again, the cultural exchange is very strong.
Do you remember what? Do you remember what kind of sub it was? Or?
I usually like the spicy Italian. That is, the 6-inch. But listen, it's gone off the menu. They've rebadged it. Subway did a whole refresh, and you can still get the classics, but not all of them. And as Alan Partridge would say, they've rebadged it, you fool. So it's still the same sandwiches, but
I do think having Alan Partridge be the thing that you're watching as a teenager is like, I think it's a cooler one than most, I think, people who have come, like Americans who have come on the podcast who have been like, yeah, I loved Monty Python or,
that was earlier, but
the other ones or whatever, and the other ones as well.
Peep Show. Listen, I was early on Peep Show. I was watching that on BBC America. Then everyone saw it.
Yeah,
and it was like, come on.
That's fantastic. Because I think I was maybe even later to Peep Show than you. I think I was maybe season like 3 or something is when I started watching it. But it was a revelatory experience of like, oh shit. You could be really, really funny, huh?
Yeah, I mean, BBC America, I was probably the only person watching it, but they put on the Alan Partridge talk show, the Knowing Me, Knowing You, and then and Peep Show, and then there was a show called 15 Stories High with a guy named Sean Locke, who sadly passed away since then.
I loved Sean Locke.
And that's a really great show about this public housing block in London. And it's really just surreal and a great show. And so obviously there's a lot of, well, we were spoiled in that we were getting all the best. Like if you were looking for it, you were getting the best stuff, not, EastEnders or sort of stuff that, well, okay, look.
You're not getting Mrs. Brown's Boys or something.
Yes,
you're
some
getting
do
kind of
have
the cream of
them,
the crop. Yeah.
Right. Although I will say, every time I'm in England or London, I do like turning on the old sitcoms like Only Fools and Horses or some of those, because some of them are pretty good, I like that one. What was the other one? That Steptoe and Son?
Yeah. Huge blind spot for me because I, for some reason, just found all of that stuff embarrassing for some reason. I don't know why. I think the earliest thing I did like Monty Python and I loved Blackadder, and so I was all in on those. And there was something I found like tiresome and embarrassing about Only Fools and Horses. Some mothers do have them. Dad's Army was another one that everybody loved. And I think this is humiliating to say, I think I found them too mainstream. I was like 9 and being like, I'm actually into alternative comedy. God,
you're so cool. You're so cool.
I get it though. I get it. It's like, and Blackadder was on PBS, I remember in America. Also, I have this memory of watching a lot of British sitcoms on PBS with my grandparents. Like, so I'm like a kid watching Keeping Up Appearances and like,
that
and
rocked.
Like,
I love Keeping
really
Up Appearances. We need to do a Keeping Up Appearances episode, Charlotte, because
that's
I need
a good show.
It's a good show, and here's the thing: it's the thing that I love. I once said this about Malcolm in the Middle, and Lewis will not stop making fun of me for it because I said it so earnestly. It's about class.
Yeah.
He always thinks that's so funny. Oh, it's about class, is it? Wow, you're the first person to notice that. But it is about class.
Speaking of British TV about class, I did just finally start watching Downton Abbey for the first time, which we will also need to do an episode about at some point. Danny, you're not a fan of Downton?
Okay, so I did watch it for a while, actually.
Okay.
More than you think I'd watch it. I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you exactly how far I got and where I stopped. Okay. Here's where I stopped. The Irish chauffeur goes back to Ireland at one point, helps burn down one of the country estates during the Irish War of Independence, and then feels bad about it and goes back to Downton and is very upset about having participated in that. And that was when I turned it off forever.
Fair enough.
And does this have anything to do with exactly that thing happening in my family's town? You can go and see the ruins of it. The people who did it might have my last name. No, that has nothing to do with that. All right. Are the ruins of Tully Castle populated only by one bull now? Yes, that is correct.
Wow, not Downton Abbey accidentally making a show about your family trauma. That's gotta suck.
Wow.
Well, they were. Well, let me be clear. They weren't traumatized by that.
No, they loved it.
That was the barbecue. So it's like. That was the cookout, and they were invited to it.
Yes.
So Downton Abbey, look, there's a lot of things I found interesting about it with some of the history stuff, but make no mistake about what that fucker is trying to do with that show. Come on, let's get real.
Yeah,
let's get real.
But then also when the old lady is like, I don't agree with the telephone, isn't that? But that's funny though. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this electricity. I don't like it. That's great.
We used to call our very old cat, the Dowager Countess, because she reminded me of Maggie Smith in that.
That's so nice. The Dowager Countess. I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let me see if I can do this, Charlotte.
You got this,
Speaking of electricity.
Speaking of electricity.
Our British Thought of the Week.
It's time for British Thought of the Week.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
Oh, do they?
Did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
Did they? Yeah, I
probably.
think they did.
Yeah, probably at this point. Today's British thought of the week. This Christmas, gather your family around the warmth of a data center. So this is a story. This is at time recording very recent news story. So breaking news, guys, for 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
By the time this comes out, this is a story about a couple in Essex. I'm going to show you both an image of these two lovely old people as well. This is Terence and Leslie Bridges, and they have become the first people in the United Kingdom to test out a new scheme in which their home is being heated by a data center in their garden shed. So, what? Just that off the top. What are you guys? What's your immediate reaction to that?
Okay, so first of all, I have to say before we move on from this particular photograph, which is visible on the video tier of the podcast, you just know that this couple has a telly that is placed at an awful angle and is slightly too small and maybe too high or too low. Is perhaps not facing the TV, not facing the couch, sorry, but parallel with it. Just crazy.
I like that Terrence has the pen ready to. I always need to keep a pen on me. Yep. He has a pen tucked in his pocket. I like that. I know he uses that pen.
Classic style.
Yes,
that's a great move. I like that.
Yes. The British grandpa pen in the pocket is as to the British grandma hanky up the sleeve. I think equivalent features.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is nuts. This is
it's really sad, isn't it?
It's kind of it's nuts and it's crazy. And I was like, I saw it and I was like, this is so crazy. I feel like I have to talk about it so I don't feel so crazy about it.
Yes.
Especially because this particular story that I read from the BBC is very focused on calling this like good for the environment as well.
Oh my God.
It's really. And the couple seem very happy with the data center. I will show another image to you both of of Terry with his data center. If you want to try and describe this to our listeners.
Well, first of all, I would say he looks like he doesn't 100% know what to do with his hands, and I respect that and I relate to it.
He's gone with the straight down either side.
Yeah.
He's in like a Victorian era cowshed. And instead of it being like a calf in some hay, it's like a metal box that says Thermify Cloud on it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, I think some important context, and I'm not an expert on this, but from what I understand is that heating costs in the UK have skyrocketed, since the invasion of Ukraine. So this is speaking to a serious issue.
Yes.
But also this is fucking nuts. This is some AI shit that is powering, this and fueling this.
You have to imagine.
Well, you can I can tell you at least, if nothing else, that it's not powerful enough, this particular data center. Which is like what's the size of this thing? It's like, I don't know. Like armchair size.
Yeah. It's the size of. It's not as big as a cow. I can say that.
Yes,
right.
If this were a cow shed, it's calf sized. It's a big boxy calf. By the way, interesting. They've got carpet in here, isn't it?
I kind of like that. I kind of like that move.
As far as sheds go, this is very fancy. I would say, just in the fact that it is. It seems like a whole separate ass building. And I do wonder whether or not. Yeah.
I could live in this. I could live in that room.
Will you be kept warm? That's for sure.
It'd be nice and warm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be milked every day. I would, have plenty of hay to eat. Yeah.
I do like to think about a cat curling up on top of this, because it's nice and warm. I think
like on top of the fridge.
Nice. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So they call it a heat hub. And it's developed by the company is called Thermify, and the box apparently contains 500 Raspberry Pi computers. And again, it's not powerful enough to do AI stuff. I think it's just I think that the CEO was like, oh, it's like it can help with apps or just like I don't know, just other data processing stuff. Kind of non-specific. The couple, Terry is obviously very happy with this. Because their bills, like their electricity bills, they say have gone down from 375 quid a month to as low as 40 quid a month, which sounds sounds really good, and that's like what the BBC led with as their headline in this article. It's very important to say because it's kind of buried in the article as well that they also did have like a battery and solar panels like as part of whatever scheme this is. So they're being like, oh, it's the data center that's making it so cheap, but like no, there's other like supplementary stuff that is going along with this as well. Mrs. Bridges is very happy. She said, you don't need to go to a sauna after coming here because it's so warm now from the heat of the data center.
You know what this is reminding me of is those American stories where it's like, isn't this a nice, heartwarming story? This child had a lemonade stand to pay for her father's cancer treatment or whatever. It's maybe not as severe as that, but it is the like horrifying positive spin on something that is actually super depressing, which is that it costs £375 a month to heat a little house that an old couple live in, and not like an nasty entire bar.
Right. And also, again, like you said, I think burying the lead on the useful part of this being the solar panels or the wind, or like I said, the family farm in Ireland is now surrounded by wind, turbines and so forth, and it's great, I mean, I think Australia is starting to give away free electricity. They have so much of it from their solar investments.
I saw that.
So this fucking scam with a bunch of Raspberry Pis powering someone's Angry Birds app, this is not going to last.
I really do want to know what the data that it is, data is in this center.
Yes. No, I do think that, like, if you're in a situation where you need to have this, where you've kind of been duped into it because you need lower energy costs, it should have a screen on it that tells you exactly what it's doing at any time, so you know whether to or not to, like, feel super bad about it. One of the things I've found... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that one powers Labour Party posts copying those of the Reform UK Party. So that one, that's easy to go. That's just internet posts that's saying you can't, if you come here as an immigrant, it's going to be 20 years, pal, before you stick around.
Yeah, it actually powers the Shopify website for the Controls on Immigration mug that they are selling.
They're selling a mug saying that?
No, the thing that's so sad, Dan, is that is literally from 10 years ago. Ed Miliband's campaign sold a mug that said Controls on Immigration on it. So it's been a long fucking road here to where we are today.
That's right.
My favorite Ed Miliband moment is not the bacon sandwich that everyone's going to point to. And look it up if you've not seen that, him eating the bacon sandwich. It's him in a debate, and Limmy always plays this clip, of he's being asked, is he tough enough? And he goes, am I tough enough? Tough enough? And he fucks it up immediately.
And then he says, damn right, I'm tough enough. Which I instantly clocked that when that happened as, wasn't it fucking David Axelrod that he got over there to tell him how to, it was one of the Obama guys.
It was David Plouffe, who I think
Plouffe worked for the Tories, didn't he?
Oh, you know what? You might be right. That's pretty grim.
Yeah, because I was like, that's an American has told him to say that, because it doesn't work at all. You can't be Ed Miliband saying, damn right, I'm tough enough. It doesn't work. It's shite, mate. It's shite.
Oh man, that is grim.
I wanted to dig in a little bit more on this this depressing story I've brought to you both.
Please.
Because one of the things that I think is really, really telling about this whole thing, because it is still, it's like this is right at the beginning, right, of like a scheme. Like these are the first people who are trying to be, starting off with this heat hub, right? So the situation
I don't
there
like heat hub as a phrase either.
Me neither. No, it sounds like a pussy.
It's not good.
I wasn't thinking that, but
Sorry.
Come on, boys. Look at my heat hub. Yeah, I don't know about. Okay,
What
but
was
that's
the
fine.
woman's name again? Sheila or something?
No, I don't
Sheila's
want to. She seems nice. I don't want to like shit on these people
Sheila's a
because I'm
different
like.
woman. Sorry.
Okay, all right, okay. Sheila's a different woman. Great. But the situation they're in right now is that in the future, so they don't have to pay the couple and anyone who gets this installed won't have to pay for the electricity used to power the data center, right? So that is like Thermify is going to get their clients to process the data, and they're going to pay for that electricity. Like that will cover the cost of the heat hubs themselves. But like right now, they're in
I'm
a
out.
trial
Shark
period.
Tank. I'm out.
Right.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah.
So right now, because it like this is the thing I was trying to figure out like, so what the fuck is it doing right now? Because that means that they haven't at this point Thermify haven't like got any clients, I have to assume. And so they're just sort of
my God.
are they just like leaving this data center on like just like doing a benchmark test, just like running really like just running for no reason just to heat these people up, like people's home? I just like
Storing Word docs,
They got a BBC article, right?
Yeah. You know what
yes,
this reminds
they
me
did
of?
do that.
This is a YKS thing. This is a Your Kickstarter suck. Like this is 100% something that they would talk about on YK. Honestly, it sounds like a Kickstarter that
Your
Jesse would be.
Kickstarter's shite, mate.
Yes. Okay, that's great because it's
Very
even
good.
it's even the same letter. That's I mean, wow. I mean, that's the kind of thinking that gets you a podcast on the HeadGum Network, folks.
That's right.
And
For now.
no, for 100 years.
100 years.
Right.
It is though, isn't it? Giving like, you know, oh yeah, this is something we're going to figure out. We're going to get companies interested in this. Just give us your $2,000 first, you know.
This is a total scam. This is never going to go anywhere. This is the various shitheads during COVID in the UK saying to Boris Johnson, oh, yeah, we can make masks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done it before, but we could totally do it. You know, this is just another,
You're right. He's got
permutation of
some
it.
mate from Eton called like Prentice Gormley Johnson or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I can spin you up a bunch of fucking masks and hand sanitizer, and Boris is like, great, job done.
And it feels particularly evil to decide to be the middleman between like, you know, processing data and people being able to heat their homes. And then also trying to sell it as like this is an eco solution. I saw the CEO say he was like, we're basically like using the energy twice because we're using it for the processing and then also using it for heating people's homes as well. So, you know, that's really cool.
I know that's what they're saying. I know that's what they're saying. But if it shouldn't exist, I mean, here's the other funny thing with this, right? Like, it's like, so like with like electric cars, like, all right, obviously preferable. They do charge from the wall.
Yeah.
The electricity behind the wall is made at a gas-fired power plant or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a free lunch. Like there's this idea that it's, oh, well, it's clean now. It's like, but if the data center shouldn't be sucking power at all, what the fuck are we doing here?
You're right, because it's like, it's the inability, and this is something that has been a Silicon Valley thing for so long, is the inability to imagine that the thing that they have created shouldn't exist. Like Facebook. Right. I remember this when I was working at Gizmodo and writing about things like YouTube being unable to, stop kids from seeing awful content. And it's like, well, we just can't moderate at that scale. And it's like, okay, then
you shouldn't exist.
Why don't you fuck off then? You don't have a right to exist just because you want to make money off it.
It's so true, and this is an opinion I have that probably sounds very ignorant, and maybe it is, but I don't care because I believe it. Like with the AI shit, oh, maybe AI is really dangerous, and my response is always like, then don't make it.
Yep.
Don't build like, oh, that we don't know where the innovations of AI are going to go. Then don't do it.
We don't need it. We don't fucking need it. We don't need all the data, because you're right, it's probably someone's fucking Angry Birds, history or whatever. It's somebody's like accidental photos that they've taken of their foot are taking up space in a data center somewhere, and that is 100 times more valuable than I need to type into ChatGPT, how do I apologize to my wife for forgetting her birthday? You know, like at least the picture of a foot is a picture of something, and sometime it might be a picture of a cat or a picture of a nice sunset. You know, it's good to be able to store your photos.
And a picture of a foot could have further value in this economy.
Economic
right?
value, exactly.
Right.
It actually, interestingly, every dollar spent on foot pictures generates $2 back to the economy. So it's actually a really good investment.
It's
and
like
now
the
heats
public
homes as
library.
well,
It's like
which
the
is great.
library. And now heats homes as well. So it's really the best bang for your buck.
That's the future.
Well, I guess we don't need to put this one on a graph. That's more for little British games and things. And this is
That's more
this
for
was
games, yeah.
this was Charlotte's attempt at doing some news. And I see I've bummed everyone out with the reality of the world and the situation in the United Kingdom. But I mean, we can at least finish by you can describe the shed, if nothing else. You could do that.
Oh,
You could describe
golly.
the shed where
Yeah, this is
the data
interesting.
center is. Yeah.
Oh, golly. Okay. So I agree with you that what I think of as a shed is the thing that's in the background, which is the wooden house.
Yes.
Right. I like the it's like a brick shithouse, is it not? Is it
That
is
is.
it originally what it was, possibly?
Has to have been.
Union Jack.
Union Jack, of course.
They got the flag up. They got a little,
They're
they got a little angel.
so proud to be British, so proud of it. Yeah, it does look like it was. I think that probably was a toilet. I don't know if. I mean, certainly my mum, when she was growing up, she was born in 1954. Another piece of data for your identity hacking of me. And the house that she lived in for the first few years of her life did have an outdoor. I don't want to say outdoor toilet, but a toilet that was not in the main house.
The
So-
Jakes, as they say in Ireland.
The
Yeah.
what?
The Jakes.
The Jakes. Oh, I'm gonna have to take
I
that.
think that's in Ulysses. Yeah. But yeah, no, I actually quite like the brick little building there.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I almost am like, if I could fit a desk in there, that'd be a really nice little stream.
Yeah, they're gonna be renting this out. This is I mean, it's it's Essex. It's close enough to central London if you take the tube. So a couple £1,000 a month to live in here with a data center. I mean, it's got the heating sorted. We're all good.
Yeah, curl up
All
on
right.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
there we go. That was
thanks, Charlotte.
that was our British thought of the week. Shall we talk about our main topic today, which is of course Alan Partridge?
Yes, please.
All right, we're going to talk about Alan Partridge. So, let me say what I did in preparation for today's episode. Let me start there. I watched.
Yep.
Because I will admit I'm not I felt like not super in the know when it came to Alan Partridge, but I did remember I watched the movie with friends of mine who liked Alan Partridge more than I did at the time. And I remembered having a good time doing that. So I watched the movie Alpha Papa, as it's known, and then I watched
Great
a bunch
movie.
of Mid-Morning Matters. But I want to try and explain for people who don't know what Alan Partridge is, because I do feel like it's a pretty unique one. And I was trying to think of is there a US equivalent to basically, because what we're talking about here is a comedy character portrayed by Steve Coogan, who is it's not like there is one TV show that he is known for. It's the character sort of stands above everything else, with starting in radio, having TV shows, having a movie, having a podcast as well, having books. And then I saw that Steve Coogan also he wrote books as Alan Partridge and then also went to book signings in character as Alan Partridge. I don't know if there's anything that really is in the same league. Libby, you might have an idea though. I see the finger.
I have a suggestion, and
Okay.
Dan, I'd like your opinion on this. The closest equivalent I can think of is what Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington are doing with On Cinema.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you've got that whole universe, you've got Decker, there's all these little bits and bobs that crop up around it.
That's a very good one. And the what I was thinking of was Spinal Tap, in the sense of because part of what's so funny about Alan Partridge to me as a character is he is aging in real time,
Yes.
right? So and evolving in a lot of ways too over the years. And Spinal Tap, by the way, the Spinal Tap sequel I thought was excellent. I feel like it didn't get as much attention as it deserved.
Right.
And it was very funny to see them as old men in the sequel. So yeah, that's part. But the On Cinema one, the richness of it and all the characters developing in the world of Alan Partridge, Michael, the Geordie, and Lynn, of course, his PA, and his family, who we never see. We never see his ex-wife or his kids, Fernando and Denise, I think, which is also very funny. And but I don't think there is a good equivalent. And, that speaks to Steve Coogan, the guy who plays him, being so special, I think.
Yes.
To me, in many ways, the English national actor. He's not Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off, Michael Sheen. Guy I know nothing about, might be a great bloke, but it is, to me, you're absolutely right. It's Steve Coogan is among our best blokes. We got to do a separate episode about The Trip sometime, because I do love the Trip very, very much, or at least the first season. I think Steve Coogan is a guy doing something that no one else had done, and I would not be surprised if Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington were inspired by Alan Partridge when doing certainly I'm sure that was part of the oeuvre. I'm pretty sure I've seen Tim Heidecker repost Alan Partridge stuff.
I've never heard Ricky Gervais credit him, but I don't think that there's an Office without Alan Partridge. 100%. I mean, I don't think there's a David Brent without that, which is great. And then Ricky Gervais would love to hear your episode on him. And that one's tragic in that The Office is so good.
It's so good. It's actually insane. Like, I don't know if there is a guy with a bigger gap between best thing they made and everything else. It's crazy. But actually, I wanted to go back to my first and still probably main exposure to Alan Partridge predates I'm Alan Partridge. It's The Day to Day, which I think is probably among the most influential British comedy things of the 90s, which is a show made by Chris Morris and Armando Iannucci, parody news show. There's only 6 episodes of it. And then, they went on to do Brass Eye. Yes, which is similar but not exactly the same. But that was my first. That's where I saw Alan Partridge first, as one of many incompetent correspondents on this news show, and I know that influenced basically everything that's come after it.
And it's such a good, even in that like it starts out maybe a little less nuanced, but it's so true of like that type of sports guy. I mean, America has it too in a different way, but this type of like not very charismatic sports broadcaster who like tries to make up for it with all these like tricks and all these sayings and pretending he's interested in what's happening. And that's a very funny thing where he doesn't really like sports, but he has to like say, like, shit, that's a goal, he's got a foot like a traction engine,
Yes, I do have, on my stream, one of my longest tenured sound alerts is, shit, did you see that? Such a funny thing for a sports commentator to say, did you see that?
Right, so that
is liquid football.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Oh man, it's amazing, and I like David Brent. The thing that makes the character funny is being shit and a undetermined amount of knowledge in the character of how shit they are. You know that they're not 100% clueless in a way that I think Michael Scott, the American equivalent, is more clueless about how shit they are. You know that they know a little bit, and they feel their embarrassment of who they are, but they don't know enough to stop being embarrassing.
That's such a good way of putting it. I mean, we have the Then we have the talk show, Knowing Me, Knowing You, where
Yes.
it's just this. The premise is it's Alan's big shot, and he is not up to the challenge, and he's falling apart every episode. We're not seeing behind the scenes like Larry Sanders, but we're seeing everything that goes down on the stage. And it's just clear it's a disaster as it's going on in real time. And then we get I'm Alan Partridge, which is, okay, what is his life like off camera?
Yes.
And it is pathetic. He's been divorced. He's living in a travel tavern, a motel.
Yes.
And then the second season, he's living in a camper van with his Ukrainian girlfriend. I mean, it just gets so dark, but like you said, he's not clueless enough to know how dark, or he's too clueless to know how dark it is.
Yes.
So he's not entirely. If he was more self-aware, he would collapse in depression, but he doesn't. He does do that a little bit. He becomes addicted to Toblerones and gains weight for a while. But it just gets so rich. The more, like, just what I'm describing, like for a comedy, like imagine if an SNL character had this sort of backstory developed for them.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to imagine, you know. And it's been going on for decades, and it's still really good. And the other thing is, I'm talking a lot here, but I'll just wrap up with this. He is very lovable, I think, is the secret to him.
Totally. Yes. Yes.
Alan is actually not a bad person. David Brent, also not a bad person. That's part of, you know, but he's become very lovable with time. And I think they softened some of it in a way where he was a nastier, like, right-winger earlier, and they've softened it a little bit where he's just trying to do the right thing.
No,
not
I
offend
like the
anyone.
way. Yeah, I like the way it's working now. Kind of like having watched some stuff, kind of like across the spectrum, because he's now and he is a version of the character now that exists in the world today, where he knows about wokeness and he knows that he needs to temper himself and his own opinions sort of like in a public setting in order to sort of like seem more palatable, which I think it's that like so much about what makes the character so good to me is that just like the amount of time like you've been able to spend with him. I think that the key thing for me I think the thing for me about him that is my favorite aspect of like the Alan Partridge character, which I feel like makes him less sort of like accessible, I think, to sort of like a more like mainstream audience, like trying to understand what makes him so good, is he's like such a good sort of vessel for just exploring the ways in which British TV and media is shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think like that stuff is sort of my favorite aspects of him is like when it's kind of a little bit boring sometimes, and it's sort of I think when I was like watching a bunch of stuff, I found that like even though it's kind of like I guess technically like later Alan Partridge, I found myself liking the Mid-Morning Matters stuff the most, when he's just like
it's great.
He's just like he you know, he's sort of like dropped off the like face of the earth for a while, and he's come back doing like the you know mid-morning show on Radio Norfolk in Norwich, which I love. My grandparents were from Norwich, so I have an acute understanding how shit Norwich is. So like the perfect place to pick for him to be existing in. Go ahead.
What is Norwich actually like? Because I think all I know about it is he picked it to be specifically the most boring place he could think of. No offense. So what is it actually like?
Yeah, it's boring as fuck.
Okay, all right.
I spent lots of. I mean, I guess as a child, right, mostly in my grandparents' house. But there's the key sort of final scene of the Alan Partridge movie, of which there is, I believe, only one, takes place on a pier, which I think I've been on before. I remember going there to catch crabs with my family and thinking this is quite dire. Like as far as like British like seaside towns go, it was bad. I mean, not that I don't have good memories, but I definitely remember thinking that when we went into Norwich City, I was like, man, this is sort of just like this is just a nothing place, which I think is again sort of perfect as like the place for him to call his home.
Well, I I'm from a nothing place. Technically I'm from a village outside a nothing place, but
Right.
I always thought, I've never been to Norwich, but just absorbing Norwich from the culture and from Alan Partridge, it is like if Banbury was a little bit bigger. And I think really the Norwich in my imagination from these shows is basically Banbury, but he needed to pick something that everyone had heard. Everyone knows of Norwich. Or maybe everyone knows of Norwich because of Alan Partridge. I don't know.
Maybe.
But in my mind, Norwich is a bigger and more higher profile town. It has a university in it, for example. Whereas Banbury, man, it fucking sucks. They get nothing. It's just nobody famous ever from Banbury. Like just a factory that smells like rotten eggs. Farmers, total shithole. So
It's not
I really.
I'm trying to think of like you know when there's like, is it an onomatopoeia when sort of like a word sounds like the thing that it is? Because I'm thinking about the fact that it's very interesting how British towns sound, like the name of the town sounds like how bad it is. Like you don't need to know anything about Slough. Exactly.
Slough. Yes.
You don't need to know anything
Slough
about Norwich to know that it's a boring place just based on the name.
Yes, 100%. And similarly, I think places that are better, Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, these all sound inherently better than, for example, let's think of one, Bury St. Edmunds. Fuck Bury St. Edmunds. Oh, what's that? Bury? Rubbish. Birmingham. You can't hear the word Birmingham without thinking Birmingham.
And then on the flip side,
I think
go ahead then.
Bath is sort of a sleeper. It's like
I was going to say
Bath is actually really good, right?
This is where I'm from. Bath sounds like it's posh, which it is. So it still works. Yeah.
Bath.
I'm from Bath.
Bath.
I'm from Bath.
The one I really liked was the period where all the major politicians in the country hung out in a place called Chipping Norton, which makes me want to pull a balaclava over my head and rejoin my grandfathers,
Yes, I grew up so close to Chipping Norton. I grew up going there quite often. It is the quintessential cute Cotswolds town that is big enough to have stuff in it. It's near Oxford. It exudes evil. It's big time David Cameron vibes. It's near Blenheim Palace, which is where Winston Churchill was born, and is also big and horrible and evil.
But what I love about Alan, sorry, just to bring it back to that, is he is not in Chipping Norton, right? Nope. He wishes he was. He's never going to get there, right? He's in Norwich, and that is a very funny, again, we talked about the class earlier, right? Alan is a very funny type of British conservative where he, for obvious reasons, has to be a conservative, but he gets no time of day from anyone who has any level of status or power or whatever.
Yes.
He would be vulgar to them, right?
Yes.
And that is a very funny dynamic to play with all the time.
Oh, yeah. That great bit where he's having lunch with the BBC executive who's telling him that he's not getting another season of his show or whatever. And he just goes from trying so hard to appear to know how to have a posh business lunch and, what kind of food to order and stuff. And then just completely collapses and becomes pathetic and angry, and lashing out and stuff. So many good scenes where he is trying to appear to be, more important or indeed more posh than he is, the country club and all that stuff.
Right.
Oh man, so good. And no, of course I do have to shout out the amazing bit where he has, is it Michael the Geordie he has with him pretending to be Bono? Or is it another guy?
It's one of Lynn's friends from church.
Yes.
Where he has lied to his Ukrainian girlfriend that he's friends with Bono.
Yeah.
And that they're at Bono's house and they're just touring a National Trust manor house or whatever that the public can go to.
Yeah.
And she has not caught on. And they have this guy come out in these cataract glasses to pretend to be Bono. I mean, this also leading up to this is Alan walking around this mansion yelling "Bono!" as if he's maybe in the next room, which I think is one of the funniest things, you know.
Yeah. Well, and it has a great scene where with the unfortunately shit-headed Graham Linehan being an Irish TV executive, and he brings out this fake Bono, and he says something like, "How's the edge?" And the fake Bono goes, "The edge is fine."
Yeah.
It's all he knows how to say.
He doesn't remember the drummer's name, so he goes, "And how's the drummer?" And he goes,
The drummer is Fane.
Yeah.
I think Steve Coogan has to find something particularly funny about Irishness because of that great scene from, I don't remember which one it is, where he plays the Irish.
This time.
Yes.
So, all right. So I have a little. So here's the other thing I'm excited to talk about.
Yes.
I feel very special in that I think I'm one of the few Americans who can say they've seen Alan Partridge live.
Oh
wow.
And I saw him. I happened to be in Dublin with my family at the same time he was doing a tour as Alan Partridge, the Stratagem tour.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see him come to Dublin and do that character in Dublin. Martin Brennan, the farmer from Sligo. But also the other thing I remember was he comes on stage singing, "We built this city on rock and roll," but he changed it to, "We built this city on Catholicism." And he, changes all the lyrics to be about Ireland.
God.
But yes, Martin. So listen, Steve Coogan, as the name indicates, I think his parents are Irish. He's from Manchester. And so he perfectly understands that dynamic we're talking about earlier of the Irish in Britain and the Martin Brennan character so perfectly. It is so good at capturing the Irish sense of humor where they're making fun of you, but you're not entirely sure how. Like it's like he keeps making Alan play the recorder. At the live show we went to. "Okay, Alan, now Alan," and he can't do it, so he's like laughing on the inside. That's a very Irish sense of humor type thing. So
it is amazing when he keeps talking about how Alan gave him £40 or something to go on the show.
"I've not put my hand in my pocket." That character, I mean, again, this speaks to the brilliance of Steve Coogan. He captures all these little things about older Irish people that's really funny. One is I believe that there's no yes, no in the Irish language.
Huh.
So that leads to him answering questions like, "You're a farmer in the west of Ireland." "I am."
Yes.
Like not saying yes, like little things like that.
Love that.
He gives Alan a pet turtle as a gift, and he keeps asking where he got it from, and he won't answer. That is a very Irish thing of like being secretive for no reason. Like I'm not like, "I've had a friend in County Kildare. You come to me though." Like,
I just pulled up the YouTube video because I was like, can we just play this on the show?
Yeah.
And that is the description of a friend in County Kildare does them, but you talk to me.
"You talk to me." Like, why can't you just say that? But that is a very Irish thing to be secretive like that for no reason.
And then obviously Alan Partridge himself fucking hating this guy whose whole thing is that he is an Alan Partridge impersonator, but he gets it wrong.
Yeah. Right.
So good.
You're meant to be feeding turf to the pigs. Like just making fun of him like that. And then, of course, Steve Coogan sneaking onto the BBC increasingly pro-IRA songs.
Yes.
Which I found out, the last one they sing, "Men Behind the Wire," which is more explicitly, as pro-IRA internees or prisoners. I learned my sweet dear grandmother, who never had any truck with them, defended that being played at the Kilgarvan Ballroom in the 70s. So that was a bit of
What I mean, how great to have a cool nan. Because so often one's nan's politics are questionable, but that rocks.
It was a surprise to me. I'll put it that way. Yeah. So there you go. So Alan brought that out of my family. Anyway.
Amazing.
I'm curious to know, because I definitely feel out of my depth when it comes to my Alan Partridge knowledge today. Where do you feel like is it? Because there is the Armando Iannucci sort of era of him, right? Which is sort of like related to the day to day and knowing you, his like talk show, and then like the sitcom, and then there's a big gap, and there's all the stuff that happened afterwards, which is like they have the movie, you have the like Mid Morning Matters like shorts where he's doing his radio show, and then you have This Time, which is like making fun of like British, like it's making fun of like the One Show, like British like magazine shows,
Yeah.
and then he's also done like a ton of like one-offs where he's like making fun of like when a British like well-known celebrity will go and do like a really boring documentary as well. He's done all of that. For someone who's like hearing us, talk about Alan Partridge for the first time, where the hell do you start?
That's a great question. Dan, I have to leave this up to you because I don't know either.
I would maybe go out of order and start with Mid Morning Matters. If you like that, you will probably like everything else. And that was sort of, they rejuvenated it a little bit, I think. He has these brothers, the Gibbons brothers, who write for Alan. And I think he brought them in to do that. And they really, I think Steve Coogan is very generous in saying that they sort of cracked the code on what Alan would be like now. And then if you like that, like, because look, the old series are great, but they have laugh tracks. They're just they're a little different, age wise. So if you like that, you can go back and do that. But I'll also say, if you're ever like traveling, you're going to be on a plane, in a car for a while, fire up the Alan Partridge book on tape of his. He has a few of them. His memoir, I Partridge. And then, which is great. And then he has one, like you said, of retracing his father's journey to a job application at a nuclear power plant, where he's going to walk in the same footsteps as his father.
God, that's good.
Without doing any training or preparing for a 100-mile walk or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's one of and it's, so that. Oh my God, it's so funny. That's where I would start,
Okay.
And then the One Show one, yeah. And then he has a new one about mental health, which I haven't even seen, and that sounds really good.
Oh God. Oh, that sounds good.
No, that does sound really good. One of the things I really liked about the Mid Morning Matters is so much of him making fun of like local British radio felt like exactly the same way that me and Libby and our group of streamer friends would sort of make fun of Twitch streamers, because I was like, him going on and being like, okay, you've got to call in, what's your favorite condiment? I was like, that is exactly what a streamer says when they have simply just like run out of steam.
Charlotte, I watched Alpha Papa with Pat for the first time like a year ago or something. And while we were watching it, we kept turning to each other and saying, that's streaming. This is what happens streaming. They got the sound alerts, I mean, there's a reason I reuse Burke of the Week which is from Mid Morning Matters on my stream, because it is basically a sound alert. It's really, really good. But no, I had the exact same thought, that embarrassment of having airtime to fill. The episode that I watched this morning to prepare for this has a bit where he is reading out a terrible reader comment or making a little joke or something, and realizing he has to fill maybe 40 seconds before the hour, and so he just keeps laughing and just goes going, looking up at the clock. Yeah, exactly. It's really, really good, and it's obviously just so what's the word I'm looking for? Like pathetic, I guess.
Got back the power pack. I mean, this also brings up a great character who joined in those episodes, Psychic Simon, who is a fantastic character. Imagine the guy who's supposed to be like the funny one on a morning radio show, which is a younger guy Alan met in a pub and thought he could probably do this, and he's not really up to it, and that's a really great performance too. You know?
He's like, he knows that he has jokes, but he is most of the time too shy to say them, or when he does get confidence to say them, Alan is going to immediately undermine him and be like, no, you're getting it wrong.
Well,
Tim Key is extremely good in his role.
Yeah.
And Tim Key is just great generally.
My favorite one of those is he fucks up and doesn't have any jokes, so he's looking through the newspaper and he finds one. Here's one letter carrier goes missing. Usually it's the but then he turned up a week later in London, like a letter, like, you know, and then Alan has to stop and go, they just fished him out of the canal. And then after that horrible moment, they go to the news, and the first news story, the body of a letter carrier pulled out, like, it just gets repeated again. So that's just, it doesn't get better than that. You know?
Amazing. Charlotte, do you want to rank Alan Partridge so that we can get our guest on his merry way?
Yes, and I believe Libby has a wonderful game for us to play as well.
Oh, I do have such a wonderful game for us.
So excited for Libby's wonderful game. Okay, yeah.
But this will be quick, won't it? So
we are going to rate Alan Partridge on our British supermarket-themed tier list system, which, of course, has S tier as Waitrose tier, A is Marks and Spencer, B is Sainsbury's, C is Tesco, D is Morrison's, E is Asda, and F is Iceland. So,
wow.
I kind of want maybe Libby, you should start with this one. Also, Dan, do you have any feelings about our tier list system just sort of as it exists? I feel like maybe you do.
I'm fascinated. No, I've only been to Tesco, and I think of the rest, I only know of Marks and Spencer.
Yes. I think to help you out here, I would say that Vons is pretty much Tesco.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then what's Waitrose? Because that is, wow.
It's ever so posh. It's not quite Erewhon. We don't really have an equivalent, I think, in the US. It's not quite Erewhon. Maybe Whole Foods is the best.
Gotcha. Gelson's?
Yeah, exactly. It's widespread, but has the poshest stuff. And that's why it's at the top, because it's the best. This is an easy Waitrose tier for me. I mean, obviously, just like enormously influential in all kinds of comedy that I love. Super funny. Does the thing of like getting at an aspect of the British character that I find both hilarious and repulsive. I adore it. Steve Coogan, he's my slime. Love it.
Okay. I feel like I definitely feel, I mean, I felt preparing for today's episode, I was like, I'm overwhelmed by how much Alan Partridge there is. And I have so much like respect for just the notion of just like a comedy. I was like, he's kind of like a Mr. Blobby to me in a way, where I'm like, he's like a really like, I don't know, key British, like, he's like a key British like comedy character who could simply like pop up anywhere at any time and could kind of like fit into anything, you know? And I'm happy. I like the fact that like Steve Coogan and the new writers that he's working with have found like a way to sort of like keep on finding new ways to like reinvent him and keep bringing him back. I think I'm going to put Alan Partridge in Marks and Spencer. But it's mostly because I feel like I haven't digged deep enough to put him sort of like all the way at the top for me just yet. But I will say I had a wonderful time watching Alpha Papa again last night. Very, very funny, very stupid movie. I had a good time. I really, really liked the bit where there's a guy who's been hiding in a cupboard because there's like an armed siege going on. That's what the whole movie is about. And he has pooped in a Tupperware container.
Michael let himself down.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And then they throw it out the window, and because it's an armed siege, they have like the police have like a robot come in to like dispose of it because they think maybe it's a bomb or something. Control explosion to deal with the Tupperware full of shit. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, Marks and Spencer's.
I've only done is shit in the box. Yeah. That's a great rating. I have to go with Waitrose, of course. And I want to say also, Charlotte, your review of it and talking about how they brought into the modern era. Here's a great place to start. Look up on YouTube Alan doing live commentary on the crowning. Is it crowning of King Charles? I don't know. Whatever that ceremony
Coronation?
is. Where
That's it.
Coronation. That's it. That's what a hick I am. But but it's him watching it, and they've lined it up so you can watch it together. It's him doing live commentary as if he's one of the announcers, but from his house. And it's him like, it's so brilliant. Like, to me, it's everything that's great about him. He gets hungry for sausages over the course of it, looking at King Charles's fingers. And so, like, he's ordering his maid to make him sausages while he's recording. It's just great. So anyway, that's a long way of saying, wait, Rose, this is such a rich comic character. I love him.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to go anywhere next with Alan Partridge, I do find myself more inclined to sort of go with, again, the stuff that feels sort of like most boring to me. I find that stuff is like most entertaining. I don't know how quickly I'll go back to like the sitcom stuff. I feel like the day-to-day is sort of like its own separate thing, where it's like it's fun to see Alan Partridge pop up in that, but it's just like very funny in its own right. But listening, the audiobook or the commentary of the coronation, those sound like very good places for me to go
I'll
next
probably
for sure.
pop those on later today, because I want to. All right, it's time for Libby's game. And once again, I've not thought of a name for it, but I thought because Dan is an expert on all things the mob and crime related, I would do a true or false British crimes. I want you to tell me if these things are really true British crimes.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
All right, number 1. It is illegal to be drunk and in charge of a cow. Is this true or false?
Oh man, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought, I'm going to ace this one.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be Bob Hoskins in the Long Good Friday. Well, it's not. It's not. It's cow. Dan, you go first.
This probably should be illegal. So I'm going to say yes, and it's partially aspirational if it's not. Let's get this on the books, you know?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Charlotte?
I get to play as well. Charlotte gets to play the game.
Yes, of course you get. Yes, of course you get to play.
Okay, thank you. This feels like definitely someone was drunk and in charge of a cow at some point, and it was bad. I do wonder exactly what ended up happening. Hopefully not something to the cow, because that would be really sad. I think, but then I'm also looking at this and I'm like, is this so on the nose as like an old British crime? You know, it feels sort of like the perfect prototype for one. So I'm going to go ahead and say false on this one, I think.
This one is true. It is illegal to be drunk and in charge of a cow.
I overthought it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm relying on in these games. So thank you for that. It is a law from... There was one that I was looking at that was 1839, and I think this one is 1879, and it also bans being in charge of things like carriages and other things that make more sense, but for some reason it specifically says cattle. So if you are planning on getting drunk, do not rely on dealing with your cow later. All right, number 2. It is illegal to enter the Houses of Parliament wearing armor. Charlotte, you want to go first this time?
All right. I mean, this would be really fucking fun to do, though, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
I feel like if we're heading towards anything resembling like a revolution in the UK, or we want to see some kind of good protest, I mean, this would be so much fun to see a bunch of people wandering in, covered head to toe in steel. Well, they must have done it at some point. I think I'm gonna say false on this one. I think you maybe made this up, because I'm sort of thinking, when were they? Around the time they might have introduced this, people would probably be still wearing armor and stuff. And just, occasionally there's got to be good. There's got lots of good guys wearing armor, right? Who've got to come into Parliament sometimes. I don't know. That's my guess.
Dan?
I could see how no one would want this to be illegal back in the era where War of the Roses type thing. It's like, we might need to go in armor. We just might need to do that and kill whatever the other family is, But I'm going to take the over. I'm going to say this is true.
Dan, once again, you are right. It has been illegal to enter the Houses of Parliament wearing armor since 1313. The Bearing of Armor Act, which dates back to 1313, was an attempt by Edward II to prevent nobles from threatening to use force when Parliament was called. And you still can't do it to this day because I just never took it off the books.
That makes so much sense, though. Like, we can't let them in here because they'll be unbeatable. It'll be like letting Iron Man in.
Yeah.
He's going to fuck us all up. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. And, at the time, there was a lot of nobles trying to overthrow the king all the damn time. So,
yeah.
All right. Number 3. Residents of Norfolk may be called upon to provide eggs to the crown at Easter. Charlotte?
Ooh.
Or Dan. Dan first.
Let's say it's Dan. It's Dan's turn.
Yeah.
Well, protein is very important. We all know this.
Especially to the sickly royal genetics.
Yeah, those guys, those Germans who run things over there, they need as much protein to get out the gate in the day to go email Jeffrey Epstein, whatever it is they're up to.
Yeah, that's really hard to do.
It's, I've got to work up the strength to email Jeff. That's still Alan Partridge, I just realized. All right, I'm going to say, I'm going to keep it going and say this is true.
Okay, I could be really stepping in it with this one, but the amount of relief I felt when I saw this and I was able to sort of compare it to the other ones and go, okay, now I can clearly see which ones are the made up ones made by Libby. This is not true.
I'm so offended, Charlotte, because this isn't true. I made it up.
Wow.
And I feel perceived in a way that sucks.
But the thing is, I just it was a comforting thing for me where I was like, finally, I can compare the two types of real and Libby. Real and Libby. That's what you should call this. Is it real or is it Libby?
Is it real or is it Libby?
I'm really sorry that I saw right through that one in the way that I did, and it does not speak to you or your character or the quality of the game.
No, it means I'm shit. All right. It is treason to kill a mute swan, Charlotte. For clarification, I should say a mute swan is a type of swan. It's not a swan that doesn't know how to talk. They all don't know how to talk.
That was going to be my question. But I mean, they can. Why can I think of no word other than bark to describe how the swans talk?
Do swans honk?
They honk. They quack, right?
Yeah.
They bark. Swans be barking.
Is it a quack or a honk? Yeah. Because geese is honk.
Geese.
Okay. Well,
geese honk.
Geese honk. Geese is honk.
Yeah, geese is honk.
I think. Well, I know that the swans, for whatever reason, is like owned by the king. So probably is. I'm going to say this one is true. That would be treason.
Yeah, I know for some reason that swan keeper is an important role of some sort in the British. I mean, which again, how did these people rule the world for so long? I mean, not that I have anything against swans, but get a fucking grip. Are you kidding me?
A whole guy whose job it is, yeah.
Like, really? I'm going to say true as well.
I was hoping to catch you guys out with this one because it was true until 1998, but it is no longer treason to kill a mute swan. You still can't do it, and they do, I think, still maybe belong to the king, but it's no longer treason.
Right, it's illegal, but you're not pissing off King Charles with this one.
No, you're not going to be executed for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you might be pissing off King Charles still, but you can't do shit.
You can't
about
say
it
the
now.
T word. Is what's happening.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. All right. It is illegal to carry a plank of wood in the street.
Good Lord.
It is for Ben Shapiro. If he were to go over there. Have you ever seen the photo of Ben Shapiro at Home Depot?
Yes. Yeah.
buying the one
me a
plank
sec.
of wood. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the video of Dave Portnoy trying to hammer a nail in a piece of wood. It's always a wonderful genre, isn't it?
Yeah,
Podcasters
these are
hammering.
the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, real men. All right, let's think. What could be the obscure British reason that this was illegal? I'm just gonna say true, and I don't even know why.
Oh, that's good. Go with your gut, Charlotte.
Yeah.
This one does feel true to me as well. I guess it has to come from a time when people were like, I don't know, maybe they had just like other weapons that they were using, and this was their sort of get around where it was like, yeah, actually I can go around with a plank of wood, that's fine, and then they had to sort of knock that one down as well. I'm gonna say true. Although maybe I'm just saying it because this reminds me of something, but I don't know quite what. So you could be using that against me.
This one is true.
Okay.
It goes back to the other of the laws that I mentioned. I don't remember whether it was 1879 or 1839, but it's kind of a sensible one. It's like a plank of wood is among the things mentioned that you can't carry in the street, so you don't bump into people and knock them over. But the law
This
as
is
written, yeah.
Before the Three Stooges emigrated, they had a lot of trouble with them walking down the street. They they would hold it this way, perpendicular to the crowd, and it would cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, also illegal to walk across the road holding a pane of glass. You mustn't do that.
Piano moving,
Piano
big
moving.
issue.
Yeah. The Piano
Yes,
Moving Act of
someone
1913.
Someone should have told the Chuckle Brothers that all of this was illegal. That's what I'm saying.
That's absolutely true. The Chuckle Brothers, they were doing this all the time.
Exactly.
All right. Next one. All whales and sturgeons found in the United Kingdom belong to the Crown. Charlotte?
We got Wales? And I'm not
Yes,
talking
we
about the
have
country.
Wales.
We got Wales? Where's the
I was
Wales?
gonna
We
say,
have that too,
That does sort of belong to the Crown, Wales. For now.
I just can't really remember what a sturgeon is. I guess it's big fish, isn't it? I guess it's some kind of big fish.
Somebody didn't play Animal Crossing.
I did play Animal
Shots
Crossing.
fired.
I just forgot, and I wasn't sure, Libby. Sometimes I try and be vulnerable on the podcast, and then I get shot down.
And I
by
go
my
blah, blah,
co-host.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh dear. I think this one's made up. I think it's a good one, but I think it's made up.
I think my gut is that this is made up because this would have been the sort of thing back in the day that would have actually caused a equivalent of a French Revolution. You saying, we can't eat these disgusting sea animals. We're going to fucking kill these guys, you know? So I'm going to say it's false.
Can't have me bloody sturgeons for tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Right.
you're absolutely right. Except it is true. So it is
Oh
true.
my God.
All the whales and sturgeons found in the United Kingdom technically belong to the Crown. You must offer them to the Crown before you sup upon their delicious screws.
But they're
Subject, email, Prince Andrew to Jeffrey Epstein. Sturgeon opportunity. Yeah.
Big sturgeon opportunity. All right.
Why am
last
I
one.
more offended that that whales don't get to be their own people? But I'm like, I'm fine with all of the swans. Like the king owns all the swans, but I'm like, don't do that to the whales.
A whale is noble. Yeah.
Swans are kind of secretly bad animals.
Yeah,
Right?
Awful.
No, I've
Yeah,
been attacked by
yeah.
a swan previously.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
this is in the posh bracket. Like, you know, this is a point on posh for Charlotte. I have been attacked by a swan at Center Parks previously. It wasn't fun. They're scary animals for sure. So I think I just don't like swans.
When is a whale ever attacked?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Wales is good. I don't know what
Whales
kind of
attack
whales, really.
Americans.
Right.
That's our stories. You know, Moby Dick.
Right.
But
And
different vibe.
We wouldn't try to copy that. Okay, last one.
No.
It is illegal to boil eels in salted water.
Oh,
Charlotte?
I mean, it
Is
should
this
should
you?
be. I mean, it absolutely should be. That's not how you do it. That's not how we
Right.
did it at home. That's not how I like to do it.
You have to
Never-
say you're joking.
I'm joking.
I mean, I was like, I thought that was ridiculous at first. I was like, do they really eat
They
eels
don't
still like
no,
that?
We don't
Yeah.
fucking eat eels. There's one guy
Jellied
in
eels?
London.
I love
yeah.
my jellied
Okay.
eels.
Jellied eels.
Should I go first? Or no? Why don't you, Dan? What do you think?
I'm gonna say.
Sort
I'm
of
gonna
like a
say this
bark?
is false. I'm gonna say false. I'm gonna
Okay.
say false.
I think I want to do this after the stream is done, just to feel bad.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I feel. Just
Right.
put a bit of salt in there. Nothing illegal
punk.
about more, bringing out the flavors and those juicy, delicious
This
eels.
is how punk music began. Johnny Rotten
Mm-hmm.
boil some eels and some salted water.
Fuck you, Elizabeth. I'm gonna
Oi,
go fucking boil
oi.
me eels.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put some
Fucking boil
rosemary
my
in there
eels.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a bit of pepper.
Mhm.
Charlotte, true or false?
You made this up.
Yeah, I made this up.
Yeah, you made that up.
I made it up. Well, that was a really close game. But Dan won by 1. But I think you
Well
guys
done.
both did really, really, really well.
It's a good showing all around.
Yeah, all around, and especially maybe by me for making the game. Well done, Libby.
A wonderful and delightful game, and we applaud Libby every time she makes a wonderful game as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That
And I-
was absolutely first class.
Thank you. Wow. Alan himself says it was good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dan, for
Yeah. Sometimes we do a mean thing where we ask our guest if they when it's time for them to promote their stuff, we ask them to do a British accent. I would really, if you would be willing, what would it
Okay.
sound like if Alan Partridge were to promote whatever you are here to promote on your on our podcast?
Oh, you're ruddy, you're right, so-and-so. Oh, you can find the outfit anywhere podcasts are found. Right? Is that decent? Like,
That's perfect.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, he does that noise a lot. Oh.
Would you start an
yeah.
episode of The Outfit by saying aha for us? Would you do that?
Aha! I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, no one would get it, and my co-host would be like, "What's wrong with you?" But
Yeah.
But yeah, and listen, we have every week we do a different organized crime story. We did a great one with the Cray twins and Parliament and their corrupting of Parliament in the 60s.
Ooh.
That's a really good British story. So
Nice.
we've done them, did an Irish one last week. So
Amazing.
yeah. So please check it out. And thank you for having me on. This was so much fun.
Anytime.
This was a pleasure. And of course, if you want to drop me and Libby a follow, we're What's All This Pod on Blue Sky and Instagram. You can also send us an email if you've got an idea for a British Thought of the Week you want to send us. Thank you, everyone who's done that. We got some good ones coming. That's at whatsallthispost@gmail.com. And then if you want to support this show, we would love it if you would do that. That's patreon.com/what's all this. Then you can listen to all of the episodes without any ads. You can get bonus episodes every single week as well. And you can get video for all of our episodes too. And you can see the wonderful background that Dan had this whole time that he said he couldn't turn off, and we said, well, you know what?
Which
That's
is a
fine.
lie.
Mm-hmm.
No,
But it had the Sopranos
we made
on,
him keep
which
it.
which
Yeah.
made me think, oh, that's going to make me feel a little bit better about justifying my parody song for this
It was a big swing and a good one. Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, that's the end of the pod. Bye.
Bye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's